Hello everyone, so welcome to another Modpack review, this time on Cafeteria Pack, a mod pack that simply focuses on mods made by the Cafeteria development team. So if you've seen any of these types of mods, then you'll know that it's made by many of the people made up of the Cafeteria Guild. So, we'll take a look real quick. So, with REI, we can find out a few of the different types of blocks and such added in certain mods. So we've got, let's see, we've got Industrial Revolution up first, which is the tech mod. Pretty much adds, obviously, a bunch of different ores, a few ingots, as you'd obviously expect, plates and other components. There's a few different tiers of tools and armor, using the different materials added. You've got a power drill, a few upgrades there. You've got batteries, certain types of upgrades or modules or enhancers, I guess as they call them, for certain benefits. As you can see there, for certain recipes, power, and speed changes. And you've also got upgrades so that there's, I think, for more slots or more power storage or certain other things, I forget. But there is certain benefits to those. Different circuits for recipes, an armor that you can put upgrades into, or sorry, modules in, so you got protection, and a bunch of similar potion effect like abilities, as well as a few other unique ones, like Pigment Trigger, colouring them, and a few other ones that you can see there. Excuse me, otherwise we've got a, I guess, upgradable X as well, mobile charger, frames, controller, other things, and you've got your different machines and generators, and you've got different tiers as well, obviously. You can see, if we go to the mark versions here, we've got the capacity, energy, cost, speed, heated up. You can see the differences there, how much heat they can take, how fast they run, and how much internal capacity and energy cost there is for each action. We've also got a bunch of other additional blocks as well, charge pads and a few other things, so yeah. And a mining rig computer, which I think is new, like a new quarry additional benefit, I guess, I don't know. And there's also other utility ones like fishing and other stuff. Otherwise, you've got, let's see, Kaib, which is pretty much just a sort of utilities and other things sort of one. So it's things like conveyor belts, you've got elevators, you've got a drawbridge, large torch, vacuum, trash can, droplets for using to get cursed dirt, a few different runes, which I think you use for the tangled chest. You've got a few different rings for different benefits, such as Creative Flight, the Angel Ring, then protections and other benefits, like for breathing underwater or placing light sources in the world. They have particles off, so that's not going to appear. You can place light sources in the world if you want, or break them. Otherwise, you got lassos for holding mobs, passive or hostile. You've got some slime boots to sling yourself around. As you can see there, we've got hang gliders for flying distances. You've got pocket versions of the crafting table, trash can, entangled chests. Obviously, are just sort of like ender chests but expanded upon. Sleeping bags. We've got a cooler for storing food. We've got the tank, which is sort of a modular sort of one you can put fluids into. Otherwise, what else do we have? We've got Terranium Slimes, which just adds additional slime mobs. And then obviously there's different blocks, there's different bombs that you can use for mobs or actually breaking blocks in the world, like TNT, that are throwable. Obviously there's a bunch of different slime balls as well as spawn eggs there. We've now got Deep Learning Refabricated, or Deep Mob Learning Refabricated, which adds in a bunch of different models, certain data. Not too familiar with this one, but obviously there's a lot of things you can do with it. There's some armor as well as few other things. Elemental creepers. Let's see. Mobs. Here. TNT. Dusts. Things. 1 second. Okay, back. So, from elemental creepers, of course, you get gunpowder and mobs and TNT. You've got Pachali, which would just be the book that's used from, pretty sure, Industrial Revolution, as well as maybe a few other mobs, maybe. I haven't used all of these, so I'm assuming some of them outside, besides that, will also have it. Support. You got coloured sort of blocks and items here with mode colors. One I've not used, but I assume you can expand upon making them whatever you want outside of just the 16 so limitation that you usually get. With stuff based on dyes, but I assume you can expand upon that here. Never used it, so I don't know in what way, but besides the painter, of course. I should just select a color and just go for it. Otherwise, you've got Elytra boosters, which are useful for obviously having the ability to launch yourself or having additional benefits when in the air and using an Elytra. Lots of the different cartridges. Excuse me. We've got basic AIoTs or all-in-one tools. So if you want multiple materials for that, which I assume is because of the fact that Industrial Revolution's also in here, we have access to many of these. So yep, and this is pretty much just the ability to have sword, pick, axe, shovel, and hoe all in one tool. And obviously they have different durability based on, I guess those conditions as well, or probably similar to that material. Otherwise, we've got Fabric Seasons, which just adds in the season detector, which I think it just tells you the information, or just reacts to each season, but also has a seasons-based system, I think. You can also check the calendar, which tells you exactly what season it is and how many days left. We've got Entity Banners, which is just banners that have different benefits, I guess, when near a certain mob. Do I have any? It is normal. Let's try... Okay, Bat, I guess. I'll just put that down. I've never used this mod, so it seems interesting. What do we have here? Get a bonus. Okay, what happens if we do... Near that. Increased damage and defense. Okay, interesting. So, certain benefits like that. Obviously, each one will be different, depending, but interesting. And it seems to also work for many of the other mobs included in here, so that's also a good sign. I don't know if it comes up with random ones, or it's actual support from them if you have them installed, I guess. We've got Straw Dummy, which is pretty much a way of just, having a dummy to test your damage output. You've got Speedometer, which pretty much just is a thing you just activate and it'll display your speed above your hotbar. You can toggle on and off. Let's see, you've got Mystical Agriculture Refabricated, which is basically just that Forge mod, but made for fabrics. You've got the many different furnaces, the different farmlands, the seeds, and the different essences you use to then make additional ones. Obviously the altars, pedestals, and such are here. Many of its tools and armor, the augments, and a bunch of different resource-based seeds, which takes up quite a bit here. We've got network nodes, which are obviously used for Industrial Revolution and sending power from one side to the other and having specific network channels. You can delete, edit, or create new ones, and you can set the energy limit for different things, whether it stores it or it transfers it. Otherwise, we've got Winged, which adds in a bunch of customizable different elytras, basically. And some of them are particular recipes, it seems. Now, is there a... Come on. Did this change to how... Did I change to have a workbench? Interesting. Good to know. I didn't know it had that change. So, it's something new I didn't know about yet. Because I covered it when it was new. We've got lifts, which just adds in a networking tool and a bunch of different structure blocks. And I assume a lift of sorts that you can use. So this is kind of like an elevator mod, I'm pretty sure. Gotta guess. Along with having a screen charger and screen, which probably displays certain information about it. You've got extra generators, which adds in a bunch of different generators for different things. You've got one for food, one for potions, one for redstone-related things, one for explosions nearby, I assume, or inside it. Enchanted books, possibly. Demise is just probably a mob drop one. Colorful, which is probably dyes, and a few other things. So there's that. There's carrier, which allows you to pick up blocks and things, I think, or mobs with a hand. You put them back down later. And then we've got the fluids from many of the different mods as well. Otherwise, there is a few other smaller ones, I think, or that is pretty much everything. Just check. Seasons, jump loaders just for making Curseforge mod packs work, for fabric. We've got a bunch of other library things. We've got lithium, mob's main menu, which we'll go to real quick. Optimization with phosphor, runtime resource pack, sneaking in portals is a thing, slot locking if you want to, in your hotbar and I assume inventory, but not for armor and other things. Step height sort of stuff, and that is it. And that this is the main menu. Obviously you get your player one on the left, and you've got the random mob tape display on the right. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.